lordship.
Jack?
What's the deal with you and Kirkin? She literally doesn't talk about you. Like, she doesn't even really consider you part of the Order.
I'm sure that sometimes she wishes I wasn't. I'm an Eye of Lavenry as well as an Immortal. She may think the real reason for my being at the Palathon is to keep tabs on her.
But she had to approve you joining us. I don't get it.
Marcello the Lesser, Albus the False Ianetian, the Lord's Grux, the Wax Witch of Deladel. All of them were Kirkin's enemies, here and abroad.
Operative word being were.
Now you understand how I got her endorsement. I'm a useful tool to her, Jack. You should only read Kirkin's silence as a shield of plausible deniability. If we're not seen talking, no one can prove she gave the kill order.
Talk to you later, Hauser. Ambassador Damley?
Hello, Jack.
How well did you know Kirkin's predecessor, Thaddeus?
Not at all. His tenure was a long time ago. By all accounts, the Palathon and Lavenry enjoyed a less contentious relationship then. Grand Magnus Thaddeus was very popular in the capital.
Really?
His resignation from the Immortals was a bit of a scandal for reasons I'm not privy to. Naming Kirkin as his replacement caused a few raised eyebrows as well, but the royal family traditionally avoids interfering with the hierarchy of your order.
I have to go, Ambassador. Orphe?
Candle.
Orphe, you're gonna love this one. Turns out Aristea, the Eternal Empire, they only lasted 2 years.
In a particular version of Aveum. That's true.
I so knew you'd say something like that. The truth is really a time-fuckety thing, isn't it?
We're rubbing off on you. The truth is that their empire's communion with the Fonts awakened a kind of inhuman consciousness in and between the magic of Aveum itself. The Fonts had previously operated independently, but now they were sending messages back and forth through the minds of the Aristea. And they were so delighted to know loneliness no longer that they created the Untime.
Untime?
The Pentadi called it the Stillness. Civilizations can flourish in it if they can figure out a way to keep hold of causality in a space that has no meaning of the word. They never do. Aristea has always been forever, and yet less than 1,000 days. How's that for time fuckety, my little candle?
Good chat, Orphe.
Welcome back, sir. They're waiting for you in the war chamber.
Silas.
Hello, sir.
Now that Yothium is secured, do you have your reassignment?
You heard the Grand Magnus at your ceremony, sir. We're either meant for the front, or we're marching north to help Lavenry. The brass is still working out the details.
Have a preference?
The front, sir. Even though that's an airship over the wound and I have no stomach for flight, my mother and brothers are stationed there. Trenchers by trade, the lot of us. The Magnus that owns our debts likes his Lightless to fight his families. Has enough pull with the Light's army to ensure it happens.
So how did you end up here?
A clerical error, most like. Things got a bit scrambly when it was apparent Sandrak really meant it this time, going for the leyline tower. But, this way I get to tell Mom I fought alongside the hero of Yilthium, right?
How many Lightless does your Magnus oversee?
Can't count them all by now. He's been taking on the debts of hundreds of us from the other Magni for years. As I understand it, having an implied private army within the army is a mark of prestige in the dynastic houses. You know, like you'll be doing now that you're an immortal.
Yeah, no, I wasn't planning on it.
Are you serious? Debt collection seems wonderful to me. I mean, us Lightless have been trained at the country's expense, and our arms and armor aren't free, are they? It adds up fighting for one's king.
You know that's fucking insane, right? As a general line of thinking.
Huh. Is it? But then, who am I to question the ways of the Magni, sir? I might even be accused of being unpatriotic.
Kirkin was your father's commanding officer at Sundown 10?
Indeed she was, sir. Ages ago. What a harrowing experience that was, by all accounts. My father's still shaken by it. Sundown 10's one of the few battles where Rasharn deployed its Archon battalion. Even though it was a Lucian victory, due to your Grand Magnus, of course, they say the Archons were granted rights of citizenship in Rasharn after that.
Their constructs are citizens?
Just the Archons, sir, for their valor in battle. They're allowed free worship, of what I can't begin to imagine, and have the vote so long as they serve in the Rasharnian armed forces for a span. That's what some of my squad mates used to say anyway, the older ones. It could just be a Lightless soldier's tale. You know how fanciful they can be when it comes to ideas of rights and opportunities and such.
That shouldn't have to be fanciful.
Now you're just pulling my leg, sir.
Sundown 10. Kirkin never talks about that battle.
That's strange, sir. She found her glory names there. Fury of the Broken March, the Warbird of Aquil. That's a tradition that's fallen out of favor, names of glory. I don't know why, they sound so crackerjack. Sundown 10's where the Grand Magnus had the accident with her arm, you know?
Hold on, you know that story?
Only as my father tells it. He says that after days and days of fighting, the Grand Magnus ended up overloading her sigil until it just fused into her arm.
Sigils are used to level your magic. That shouldn't have happened.
Father did say the Grand Magnus was arguing with her sigil constantly to lift that restriction. One day it finally gave in.
What? You can't do that.
I don't know, sir. She can be very intimidating.
I'd better go. Magister?
Friend!
So how often do you try out for selection?
As seldom as I'm able without bending Light's army regulations. Don't mistake me. I'm a talented Magnus and fierce patriot, but I'm fortunate enough to be able to contribute to the war effort without.
Without actually serving.
Now, I am required to serve during second summer, unless I talk to the right people. I can't get around that.
You literally just said you can get around it.
Please don't think less of me, my friend. I would defend Lucium to the last. And when I do walk the path, I give it my all. For about 5 minutes. And then a spike impales me, or a spectral nightblade shoots me through the eye. We can't all be you, Jack.
House Belming. That's a military house, right? Sounds familiar.
More military adjacent. I'm in the Hinters business.
The what now?
The Hinters? Apologies. That's a fancy euphemism for fertility fields. My house holds the contracts to construct and maintain all the hinters for the northeasterly estates of Lucium. The military is our primary customer, of course.
Okay. Act like I'm from Saren and try one more time.
Hinters are stretches of land constructed beneath ley line crossings. The great families use them to influence their offspring's chances of being born with magic, which in turn guarantees that they remain the great families.
So you're telling me that being born with magic is manufactured?
Of course it is. Well, not always. And there are the unforeseen, such as yourself. There's a chance for everyone.
You must want to be an immortal or you wouldn't keep fake dying. But why do you want to be one?
Tut-tut. Nothing about the dying feels fake. It's a psychological horror show. Feeling the pain of your flesh burning off while also being slightly annoyed with yourself as it happens. Ugh, the dissonance of those moments. It scars the psyche, Jack. I do not recommend.
Which means you have a really good reason for wanting the job.
Of course I do. I want to serve Lucium.
No, nope, not that one.
One mustn't equivocate, I see. Fine. I reckon it's expected of me, right? Despite the family business and all its wealth, I'm still a scion of a line of Magni, and share the name of a great house. We're not allowed to avoid the order, or we risk bringing shame to our forebears.
I went to the Underdwell in Caltis. Have you ever run into the Allori where you're from?
Mm-hmm. I've had to run the beasts off from my hinterfields a few times. They scurry out of their holes some nights to sun themselves beneath the ley line nexuses. A bad analogy, as I say it. They feed on magic, you see.
Oh, I know.
We have had to use our lightless soldiers to chase them away. Our Magni refuse to get near the creatures. Dreadful things. Evil. I take it you met a few?
Yeah, their leader, I think. He was cranky, maybe a little violent, but not evil.
Are you sure he was an Allori? That doesn't sound right at all. Maybe he was full. Either way, you're lucky to have come out of there alive.
All right, Belming. I should go.
This is insane. The surface of Eastern Orman is an endless desert. We'll never find the Shrine Forge this way.
I'll switch back to the islands just above the Tempest Layer.
The conquering hero returns.
Hey, hero. See if you can make out anything but sand.
Really with this? Already?
Why are we looking at sand?
Thaddeus gave me the history of Sandrak's Binding Stone. As you say, sir, it's some real end-of-time shit. The Aristea couldn't survive it, so our chances are on the wrong side of 0. Before he died, Thaddeus told me that the Shrine Forge used to create this Binding Stone was...
under all that sand.
Maybe. He didn't specify whether it was on the surface, which is completely blasted by magical fallout, or the islands above, which stretch out forever west.
Wait a second. Did you say Thaddeus died?
Yeah, The Hand of Sandrak was following me. Had a team of Nightblades with her, and...
What matters now is that we have a location for a location. And that's better than yesterday. We find this Shrine Forge, we're one step closer to finding some weakness in Sandrak's hold over the Binding Stone.
I'll break out our scrying records on Rasharnian troop movements in Orman within the last year.
You know, they say one after effect of being inside a massive volcano is dehydration.
I'm just tired.
Get some rest. Narrowing down this search to anything actionable is likely to take all night.
I might have an idea on how to shorten that.
This was extraordinary work, Initiate.
Thank you, sir.
Jack, hold up. Zendara's right. You do the Immortals proud, my friend. And it's great to see you back in one piece after that whole adventure.
Thanks, Dev. It's good to see you too.
Just now, when you were telling us about Thaddeus, I noticed something might have been distracting you.
Really? Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean.
Your face at one point, it was like you'd seen a ghost. Forgive me for
I saw someone I used to know, and she's in trouble. Look, this isn't the place, but I'll fill you in when I can.
What kind of trouble?
This is not the place.
Oh, right. Right you are.
And, keep it to yourself, okay?
Why would you even have to ask that?
You can't be serious.
Point? I promise to keep it to myself. Also, I'm so very sorry if I embarrassed you in front of your Ilori friend. Is friend the right word? I know I embarrassed myself.
His name's Rook. But one thing at a time, Devin. I gotta head out.
I haven't forgotten. I still owe you a conversation about Sandrak having been an immortal. But finding the Shrine Forge is priority 1 right now.
You heard the Grand Magnus. Return to quarters, get some rest.
Luna's alive. What am I supposed to do with that? How are you even alive?
Story for another day.
It's the Mind Walk, isn't it? The spell went crazy, and now you and I can do this.
I think so.
How much can you see?
Nothing, really. I see you, and the rest is just colors that can't hold their shape. I can only hear you, too. Don't worry, I can't spy on you or sneak into your war room.
No, it's not that. I kinda just wanted you to see this room. The one they gave me, it's crazy awesome. Super big.
When you look glum like that, it reminds me of when the Upbridge gang stole your shoes.
Don't bring up Saren. Not like that.
Tell me, have you ever seen the color Salamine? It only exists in Rasharn. It's one of the first things I noticed when they took me here.
Just stop, Luna. Rasharn doesn't have its own colors.
But it really does. Come visit me. You'll see.
How can you even ask me that?
Because I miss my best friend. I want you to see what I've done here, who I am now. I have that farm I always used to talk about. Can you believe it?
Rasharn almost killed you, Luna. I thought they did. For years. I thought you were dead.
It's like when you nap too long out in the sun. When you open your eyes, everything's kind of blue, but all mixed in. Imagine that, and put a pearl inside. That's what the color Salamine looks like. You don't get it, do you, Jack? All you are is angry. I'm trying my best not to get angry. Angry that the next time we see each other, one of us is going to kill the other. I just wanted us to talk and forget about that for a minute or two.
Luna, wait! Hello?
Rise and shine, friend. Kirka needs everyone in the war chamber.
Did we find the Shrine Forge?
We might be close. I brought in a specialist to help crack the case.
A specialist in Shrine Forges?
No. In Orman.
Are they named Kenzie?
Up and at 'em, sleepyhead!
I was just taking Kenzie here to meet Zendara. I predict they'll get along famously, don't you?
Wait, not yet. Wait for me.
Can you believe it? The anarchist has set aside her disgust of military institutions long enough to help us out.
Oh, no. There's still plenty of disgust.
Would you two cut it out? They're waiting for us.
Now, Kenzie, I appreciate our verbal fencing about the rabble's pillow-fisted outrage against the gentry, but the very large one there, she's actual royalty, so maybe not so much.
Maybe none.
Look, I'm here because I want the Rasharnians out of my home, not to make nice with some princess that thinks... Oh, my...
I see. So it's all eat the rich until someone gets the vapors.
Welcome to the Palathon, Kenzie of the Sky Tribes of Oramin. The Kingdom of Lucium is grateful for any help that you can give us.
You bet. Are you scrying the entirety of Oramin at the same time? You'd need hundreds of scrying constructs to pull this off.
Thousands.
No wonder the rest of the kingdoms think Lucians are always lurking in the shadows. The amount of border alliance and factions here is... even for wartime.
Yep, it really is an impressive feat of modern arcano-engineering, but moving right along?
You mispronounced invasive.
When's the last time Orman even pretended to be at wartime?
You're looking at her.
It's okay, Zendara. Kenzie's right. I'll submit a formal apology to Oramin's High Council the next time they convene, at Nosea.
In case you hadn't heard, Sandrak destroyed Nosea, so she's being...
I heard.
Oh, so you did catch the shade. Very good.
You're looking in the Tempest layer? That's the wrong place. Those islands are the newer ones. You gotta look underneath, where the first islands were dislodged.
We checked. There are no Aristean ruins on the surface of those.
Who said anything about the surface? The Aristea love an underground temple.
Flip it.
You're shitting me.
See? I did have a good idea. Bringing her in, I mean.
Ley lines are too unstable in that storm. And they will have powered down their portals. There's only one way we say hello.
Get prepped for a combat drop.
You heard the Grand Magnus. Grab your gear and head to the airship docks.
I'll tell Captain Selko it's go time, and to have his lance of strikers ready.
So... what should I do?
Shall we save you a seat on the assault craft?
No. Still not my war.
There's a very nice gift shop on level 10.
Nope. Level 10 disappeared again. It keeps overlapping with that northeastern change wind from Iopale. Takes a vacation whenever it does.
Well, that's too bad. You could have gotten your own Immortal's replica badge, Kenzie.
Hold up. Iopale the moon? Iopale?
Our stewards are looking into it.
Gotta find Selko. Orphe?
Candle.
Good chat, Orphe. Captain, is our airship ready for launch to Orman?
Just give the word, sir. Her hull's warded against the worst the Tempest layer can throw at us. We'll swing you in for a clean drop to the Shrine Forge.
No time to lose. Let's go.
Signals up! Let's move!
recognize this place. Thaddeus showed it to me. There's gotta be some kind of Threadicol-making machine thing here.
Probably inside. And this machine will show us a weakness to the Binding Stone?
In theory.
So we don't know what to do once we're inside.
I figured we'd improvise.
You mean you would improvise? That entrance is blocked by a Triarch ward. You're the only one going in.
I'll get the portals
Lucky
powered
I'm
back
here,
up for
sir.
a return trip.
Figure out how to destroy the Binding Stone, and let's get out of here.
hello. This room looks important. Your hair is staying. I've never been here. Yeah, you're talking about someone else. You're mistaking me for a guy named Sandrak, which frankly feels a little creepy. But anyway, I want to destroy the Binding Stone. You're not listening. I don't have a Binding Stone. Or a mark. I can't surrender what I don't have. I already told you, I'm not... Wait. You can give me the same mark as Sandra. Control it, or destroy it.
You've already figured out the solution, Jack. We win.
You don't win in Ever War. If he found a way to use the Binding Stone, so can we.
Its mastery over the fonts means I can end the war.
Then I choose to end the war. Give me the mark to control the Binding Stone. I think I broke it. Great. No takebacks, I guess. Alright, so that's what disobeying orders feels like. Not so good.
figure it out? Please say yes.
Yeah, we're good to go. With this, I can destroy the Binding Stone. We just have to get close enough to Sandrak.
How do you propose we do that when we don't even know where he is?
This mark gives me a connection to the Binding Stone. I can feel where it is. I can feel where Sandrak is. He's moving east, towards the Deepmere.
There's a font in the ocean.
Sounds like it. All right, pack it in. We're leaving soon.
What's the play, sir?
Devin and I will stay here at the Shrine Forge for a bit. See if we can find anything else of interest.
And rig it to blow when the Rashanians return.
You need to get back to the Palathon and brief Kirkin. She'll figure out our next steps. But when you use that mark to destroy the Binding Stone, I want to be there. I want to see Sandrak's face when you just crumble it.
Yeah, we are really just, gonna destroy that Binding Stone so hard. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Now head back to the Palathon.
Impressive place, huh?
It really is. The Aristeia were exceptional builders. How do you think Sandrak found out about it?
Probably dumb luck. Soko mentioned Rasharnian airships started taking new routes into Lucium.
When parts of the Orman border collapsed, right. So, they discover this Shrine Forge.
And Sandrak's able to use his new mark to detect the location of the Binding Stone.
In Ilthium.
Yep. No wonder it seemed like Sandrak was overextending himself there. He was. Desperate to find that temple.
Doesn't seem fair. Accidentally finding a doomsday weapon. Hard work should go into something like that.
All right. I better go.
Oh, don't forget to say hello and goodbye to Kenzie for me when you return to the Palathon.
Will do. Great call getting her to come in. We wouldn't be here without her help. Sir, I'm back at the Palathon.
Well done, soldier. Meet me in the vault. We can finally have that conversation that I've been trying to avoid.
Your lordship.
Jack?
So are you a spy of the king? That's what eyes are, right?
Yes. And I'm one of his personal killers at discretion. Which isn't the same as my role as a hexbrand, but the differences are so labyrinthine that I preemptively bored myself trying to explain them. At its simplest, one is killing for the crown's interests, the other for magic's.
Magic has interests?
It has colors, shapes, and expressions. Why not? Magic defines its own tenets, and all of it is a system that the Magni have agreed to work within. Hexbrands make sure derivations of that system are at a minimum.
Sandrak.
Well, it's so easy. He's practically covered in writs. But he's also guarded by the most exceptional hexbrand of them all. The Hand. Getting past her is difficult.
Talk to you later, Hauser. Ambassador Damley?
Hello, Jack.
The king. Have you heard anything from him lately?
He's still in hiding. Royal communiques are few and far between. Why do you ask?
It's just, things are escalating.
Everyone feels it. Rasharn too easily presses in across the wound drifts. The forces Sandrak committed to the siege of Lavenry will not withdraw, and the front. If Kirkin has a plan, it would be nice of her to share it with me.
I have to go, Ambassador. Orphe?
Candle.
Who's got two thumbs, a binding mark, and met an Aristean astral projection? This guy.
Delightful. What were they like?
Well, he talked like... I mean, he kind of like talked like really a little bit fucked up, but like I could totally still understand him, and the other way around.
There were probably semiotacular spores in the air to ease your communications. Like breathing meaning.
That's maybe gross, but also, he was overcompensating or something because he made himself like 40 feet tall.
Perhaps he really was so in life. Judging from their art, they were able to customize their human appearances into extreme forms.
I was really hoping you'd be more impressed. Wait, you first saw me telling you all this already, didn't you?
We have no idea what you're talking about.
Good chat, Orphe. Silas.
Hello, sir.
When did you join the Lights Army?
When I was 13, sir. Mom and Dad thought it best if I went in before draft age. They feared if I went in with the normal conscripts, I'd learn all the wrong lessons. You know how they're always so rebellious at that age.
A bit. Still, that's stupidly young to be on the field, Silas.
I don't know. The king led his first charge when he was 12. Into the lines of the Red Colonel's rebels, no less.
Yeah, but the king is a Magnus of the strongest bloodline in Lucium, and he was riding a howler.
Yeah, and armored head to toe in unbreakable glimmer-spiked silver. I know. So if your king set such an example, me crossing my first swords at 13 doesn't seem so audacious, now does it?
I'd better go. Magister?
Friend!
When's your next go-around at selection?
Next year, assuming Rashan doesn't... Well, I mustn't be defeatist.
You know you don't have to be an immortal to join the Lights Army. I mean, a Magnus of your stature would get fast-tracked to officer.
Enlist? I do more for Lucium keeping its magical bloodlines healthy than I would fumbling about as a soldier, my friend.
What do you think the immortals are? We're soldiers.
Not all. You have intelligence officers that rarely see the field, and you used to have a wealth of non-combatant roles. The Immortals were a massive organization once upon a time, and its soldiers were but a small part. Your order knew better days before Sandrak's ascent. It's a tragedy to see it so reduced.
All right, Belming. I should go. Sir?
Back here, Jack. Here. This dossier is for you. My report of Sandrak's time as an Immortal. Some details remain...
I was hoping for more than a summary. You know, for us to talk about it.
It will have to do. I don't like to talk about Sandrak, because I don't like remembering him as a friend. We fought alongside each other for 30 years, Jack. I depended on him. Would have given my life for his. And all of that is gone. It does me no good to relive it. To let it in, I might also invite a mercy where I can have none. Come, show me the mark you recovered from the Shrine Forge.
Sure.
It lets you feel the movements of the Binding Stone?
Yeah. Sandrak's definitely sailing the deep mirror, but his movements are weird. Erratic.
Unfortunately, we can't afford to send a large force out to sea. Most of the Light's army musters at the front, and we need them to remain there. You, Zendara, and Devon will have to face Sandrak alone. Well, not exactly alone. My contacts in the Clayless Traders Guild provided us with a Colossal during the Trenchship Rebellion. I never gave it back. It'll take time to wake her up. She's not seen service in a very long time. Captain Selko's a fine steersman, if I recall correctly.
And I can guide him to wherever Sandrak is, using my mark.
That's the plan. Now, unless you have something else to ask me, that'll be all.
You've been hiding anything and everything about Sandrak being an Immortal since day one. I deserve more than a report you wrote up.
Tell me, Jack, if you had a very close friend that you shared a common cause with for the longest time, a vision of what was right and true and good, and they betrayed that vision, betrayed you, how would you feel? Would you want to talk about it? Could you talk?
Yes, absolutely. I'd have to know how it even got to that point.
Sandrak and I were companion in arms for longer than you've been alive. We stood against the Kalthus Estates, the Sea King usurper, the Colossals of the Arjaman Pretenders, even against Rasharn, his homeland. And then one day, he refused to participate in a mission that could have very well ended the war.
What mission?
Read the report.
And we're back to that.
Look, what's important is that Sandrak had orders, and he allowed his own hubris to ignore them. He made a decision that jeopardized the rest of us because he thought he knew better.
Yeah. Hubris sure is some bad news. It's terrible.
For the breaking of his oaths to the Order, I exiled him back to Rasharn as punishment, thinking his ancestral enemies there would be the death of him.
That last part didn't work out.
Not even a little bit.
All right. I've got everything I need, sir.
Zendara and Devon should have already returned by now. You'll all set out for the Deep Mere in the morning. Oh, one more thing. The Oromik girl, Kenzie. She wanted to speak to you when you returned from the Shrine Forge. I think she's a bit smitten with you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's limited to just me, sir.
Initiate, come up to the war chamber. Devon and I have decided that since we might die in the morning, we should,
Get hammered!
Yes. That.
On my way. Kenzie?
Over here, chap.
Did you get lost?
No, I just... Everwar Central here just kind of skeeves me out. And then someone told me about all those names out there being dead people, and it... The garden area thing, it was nice.
Yeah, the names hit me pretty hard too when I first got here.
I was going to leave, but then your boss lady said you were on your way back, and there I am thinking about dead people, and then of course I suddenly can't get Thaddeus out of my head.
I'm really sorry. I know you two were close.
He was such an asshole. Did he... When you hung out with him, did he talk about me at all?
Come on. You know he couldn't not mention you.
Really?
Really?
Oh. What'd he say? Huh? Come on, what'd he say?
He said you were, tough. He really liked that about you.
Tough?
Yeah. You know, resourceful and rugged. Could fend for yourself.
Oh, so it made it easier for him to leave since I could fend for myself.
What? No. That's not what he meant. That is just really admired that part of you. That's all.
The rugged part of me.
Hey, look, those are his words, not mine.
All right then. I guess my job's done here. I'll be off.
We're heading out to the Deep Mirror tomorrow to beat the hell out of Sandrak. Wanna come?
The ocean? Oh, hell no. No one from Oramen knows how to swim.
Well, neither does anyone from Saren. We'll both be trailblazers. Also, you're good in a fight. We could use that.
I helped you out once. Do it again, and I'm just another pawn of the hegemony. Count me out, soldier boy.
Worth a try.
Swell digs, by the way. Pretty enlightening seeing how the other half lives.
Look now, I grew up in the Underbridge. In the slums. I just work here.
My bad. Totally didn't realize you were keeping it real.
Bye, Kenzie. And hey, thanks for the assist with finding the Shrine Forge.
See ya, hot stuff.
I've got 100 Allori chasing me. Nowhere to go. All by myself. And then, boom! I'm grabbed by the neck. I can't breathe. Sure, just interrupt my story in the rudest, most disgusting way imaginable. That's cool.
I honestly forgot you were telling one. Oh, did I ever tell you guys about the time I almost turned 100 years old? My company was holed up in the trenches at True Haven Pass. I was still assigned to Lights Army then. Medical watch, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a lie.
Absolutely serious. The Roshanians hit the trench with an aging spell. By morning, we're suddenly too tired to fight. We're too infirm. Our brains are muddled. We've got the cataracts. So, anyway, I see myself in a mirror, right? I look like my father. My father was a very unattractive man, Jack. We call him the Turtle. I am not going to age well.
So tell me, Sarah, when did you say to yourself, hey, bigotry, it's not really so bad, is it?
I have to make a far call.
Are you referring, Initiate, to why I think the unforeseen are a curse?
Yep.
Telenir was a small city in Kalthus. The priests there believed that the Lightless were given some divine role by the Pentasod, and they didn't allow Magni within their walls. Can you imagine? A city without magic?
I'm not an asshole, so yes.
One day, at some morning prayer, a young girl, in Unforeseen, just exploded with wild magic. She died screaming as spellfire erupted from her body. All of Telenir started burning. And because there were no Magni around, this wild magic went unchecked. The whole city, and everyone in it, were reduced to ashes.
That's all very sad and terrible, sir. But we're not all that little girl. That's not how it happened with me.
It could have. There's no protection against your kind. And when you do happen, more often than not, people around you die.
Okay, enough of that. My father always said the best way to mend bridges between parties that held wildly divergent opinions was to find a commonality in vice. Drink up, nerds.
Another.
How'd a fucking bird get in here?
Oh, good. You see it too?
You still have that thing about birds.
Birds absolutely do not give a shit about the way their heads look when they walk. I would be mortified.
Another.
Damn it.
Another.
Use your lash! Use your lash! I know. Another.
Am I dead? Ugh.
It's him, isn't it? Sandrak's moving towards the font. Showtime, then. And listen, I may not like what you are, Jack, but I like who you are.
That feels really abstract and not entirely okay, but thanks. I think.
The Immortals are better because of you. And Lucium may end up surviving because an unforeseen led the charge.
Morning, sir.
Unfortunately.
It was a good night, sir. I won my retirement fund betting on your skill in beer pong.
Wait, you were there? I didn't see you.
You weren't seeing much by that point, sir. Duty calls, though. Come to the docks over in Thaven's Point. We're nearly ready to cast off.
All right. See you soon. Your lordship.
Jack?
Talk to you later, Hauser.
Does seasickness cancel out hangovers, or is it more of an additive thing?
Welcome aboard, Immortal. What's our bearing, sir?
Can't give you anything precise, Captain, but north by northeast, 5 knots. If Sandrak changes course, you'll be the first to know. Something wrong?
Just the fact that this mission and the war hinges on something that we don't understand. At all.
We'll catch him, sir.